nation can be, its brand can be made a respectable brand. They said India is rising as an economy, as a geopolitical power. But Hinduism is not a respectable religion. India is a rising political power, but the civilizational acceptability of India is making us feel inferior because this kind of acceptability is not there in America. They mentioned that, take for instance service. Service means Christianity. Hindu organizations do not do any service at all. This is the broad impression that Hinduism is not having compassionate approach. It is not humanistic. It is concerned with the other world. So this kind of perceptions have been created for the last 150, 200 years. It's not created yesterday or day before. But with India rising as a geopolitical power, and by 2030 we are going to be among the three world powers, America, China and India. All other powers which are there today, whether it is England, France, Germany or Japan, are all going to be regional power. This is the estimate of the National Intelligence Council of America, which is the think tank of the Central Intelligence Agency. So while the nation, the government is becoming stronger, more acceptable because of its own inherent strength, but the core society is not having respectability. So we should do something about it. What to do, no one knows. So we called all of them. It has something to do with Ahmedabad. It is here, we met 3 days. On the 31st of December 2005, 1st and 2nd January 2006. One biggest deficit in the Hindu civilization is the lack of strategic thinking. We didn't produce many strategic thinkers because strategic thinking requires an enemy. Hinduism does not have an enemy. So if you don't have an enemy, you don't have strategic thinking. This kind of thinking comes only when you feel that you are in danger, that you have adversaries, you have to overcome all this. But you don't have a theological or philosophical enemy. And because of that, we wanted to hold a meeting of about 150, 200 people here, drawn from America, from England and other parts of the world. And from India we had called about 50, 60 people. And in this meeting I had requested Mr. Ajit Dole, who is now the NSA and regarded as one of the greatest strategic thinkers in the world. We asked him to speak to this gathering as to how to introduce strategic thinking for the Hindu society and for the nation. It is here that Ajit Dole addressed this 150, 200 people and said, you have to force multiply the Hindu civilization and then only you will gain respectability as a people and civilization, as a culture, as a nation. Because minus Hinduism there is no India. Whatever politics may say, secularism may say, modernity may say, minus Hinduism there is nothing in India. But that is precisely what does not command respect. It must agitate all of us. It makes us feel concerned. The idea is to bring together all the people who are worried about it. That is what we began doing. So Ajit Dole gave this formula that you have to first multiply the Hindu civilization, make the word Hindu acceptable to all the people, and we must identify as Hindus without being called communal, without being called religion, without being called narrow-minded. This is a challenge. And so we decided that we should do something about it. Even then we were not very clear. When we dispersed here on the 2nd of January, we had no idea as to how to do it. But we knew we had to do something. Otherwise your per capita income may increase, you may have huge growth, but you will not have respectability. Take for instance, I am a chartered accountant and I am very well regarded. I am one of the most sought after industrial a business consultant in India. But outside India, I am an Indian chartered accountant. My respect will be decided by the respect India commands. This is the brand of the nation that decides the value of the national. We must understand this. A Ugandan chartered accountant will only have the respect Uganda commands. An American chartered accountant will command the respect America commands, even though he may be inferior in quality, in competence, in skill. We have not been made to think like this. It's unfortunate 50, 60, 70 years after freedom also, we don't have the skill, the philosophy, the thought, the technology to build a national brand which will be respectable. You cannot build a national brand for India minus the Hindus or abusing the Hindus as useless, backward. So the entire campaign of the West and the world and the rest and the seculars and the liberals in India has been to debrand Hinduism, which has debranded India. So we were very worried about how to go about it. Swami Mitrananda of Chinmaya Mission had come to this meeting. Why I am mentioning his name is the idea of starting a fair came from him. So he had come to Ahmedabad. He wanted to be there only for one day. But it was such a titillating and intellectually stimulating discussion. He stayed for all the 3 days. And when we all went to Chennai and see how to address this problem, he said, let us start a fair where we bring together all the Hindu organizations, because Hindu spiritual organizations, whether it is Ramakrishna Mission right down to a small organization, we should bring together all of them, offer a platform so they all come together. It is not unity, it's a platform, it's an identity. And he wanted a book fair. Then after discussions we decided it is better to package it as a service fair, because Hinduism is disregarded as a religion with a human face. It is more concerned with rituals, it is more concerned with moksha, it is more concerned with God than with humans. This is the overall perception about Hindus. Then we also made a study. Tremendous amount of services are being done by the Hindu spiritual organizations, but nobody knows about it. The kind of service Ramakrishna Mission is rendering. When we went and spoke to Ramakrishna Mission people, Swami Gautamananda, he is a very senior person, president of the Ramakrishna Mission Chennai, we went and spoke to him that you are rendering so much of service. Why don't you talk about it? You know, Guru Maharaj हमको कहा है आप सर्विस करो, इसके बारे में मत बोलो. Talking about the service that you do is a sin. But branding the services and converting the people is the global model. You have an alternative paradigm here. What the right hand does, left hand should not do. If you do some good thing, you don't talk about it. The highest dharma is that you do it and don't think about it. These are all very high values. But these values, unless they are properly strategized, these values have no meaning. So then we began studying what the Hindu spiritual organizations are doing and came out with some astounding findings. You must have heard about Satya Sai organization, Satya Sai Baba. You know, he has supplied, Satya Sai organization has supplied water for 3 dry districts. They have constructed over 3,700 overhead tanks. 2,700 overhead tanks. They have laid 3,500 kilometers of pipelines to supply water. They have constructed 270 water reservoirs. The 11th Planning Commission document said, a government cannot do all this. But how many people know about it? When we were discussing all this, Bill Gates was invited to India. And Bill Gates was honored with the award, Indira Gandhi Award for International Understanding, in which one of the leading political leaders of India spoke. I don't want to mention the name. And the leader said that in India, there is philanthropy is lacking in India. It is an open statement. See this philanthropist, Bill Gates. Philanthropy is lacking in India. Indian businessmen, Indian industrialists, Indian rich people, they do not do philanthropy. This was a statement made by the national leader of a leading political party. The statement was lifted by the Wall Street Journal. A front page article was written. Indian rich, open your wallets, don't be miserly. This was the statement. You know, there are two studies which I want to point to. Hudson Institute study of America, which said Asian and Indian businessmen contribute 60% more than the North American businessmen for philanthropy. This is the finding of the Hudson Institute America. These are all, we have put it all in our coffee table book. This is about business people. There is a study, participatory research in Asia, which had done a study on the mandate of the Planning Commission about the philanthropic nature of the Indian people. It came out with finding that nearly 40% of the Indian households contribute to philanthropy, and 40% of the households earning less than 8,000 rupees per month, they contribute to philanthropy, and 25% of the people who contribute to philanthropy are illiterate. This was the study of the Planning Commission. You call this civilization without a human face, without compassion. This is how we have been branded, as a useless civilization, as a useless philosophy, as a useless religion, as a useless people. So we thought the best way to start with is to bring together all these spiritual organizations to showcase their service activities. We thought that this is the best area to start. You know, when you want to do something, you must start the activity. If you want to learn swimming, you have to jump into the swimming pool. Otherwise, you can't learn swimming. You can't learn swimming pool on the blackboard. You can't learn swimming by reading a book. So we jumped into conducting a Hindu spiritual fair. In 2009, we decided on the 19th of January to conduct the fair. The fair was conducted from the 5th, 6th, and it closed on the 7th, if I remember right. 30 organizations participated. And we totaled the services done by all the organizations and put it in the central hall, that there are so many schools, so many hospitals, so many orphanages. The media, everybody was stunned that these 30 organizations run so many schools, 5,000 schools, 2,000 hospitals. Then on the last day, we had about 50,000-60,000 people who agitated that the fair must be extended. We didn't have the facility, we just conducted it in a school. Then we thought this is an activity which would click with the people. Then from the next year onward, the fair took off. And we decided that we should force multiply more and more people to participate, and we zeroed in on a strategic approach, as Dovalji suggested. We have to make the word Hindu acceptable to everybody in the country. Otherwise, this country will be nowhere. It must be acceptable in the sense it should not be objectionable. So we decided, we picked out the judgment of the Supreme Court rendered in the year 1996. what is meant by Hinduism, where the Supreme Court said it is not a religion, it's ethos, it's a value, a way of life. It is the tradition of India, and it is not communal. It is not anti-secular. In fact, the Supreme Court went as far as to say that if Hinduism is not there, no other religion would have prospered in this country. But nobody read this judgment. We took this judgment, put it in our custody, went to the income tax department and asked them for income tax exemption. The income tax department did not know this judgment. Then we pointed out that this is a judgment which you have to respect. That this is constitutional, it is legal, it is not communal, it is not religious. Then the income tax department had to give income tax exemption to it. That was the first major step. This is what is known as strategic approach. There is no use fighting I am a Hindu on the road. That's all there. That people will keep doing. Don't stop it. But we must move above. We must move far. We must move nobler. So we got the income tax exemption. Then when we organized the fair, the corporates, we went and told them, this is our idea. We want to showcase the Hindu spiritual organization service activities. And we want to project to the world, we want to improve the brand of India. You may run a company, you may be a businessman, but you are an Indian businessman. Unless India's image is good, your image will not be better. Many business people accepted this view, that it is important, that it is doable, because the media began reporting all this, that Hindu organizations are doing this kind of work, which they have never done in the past. So the media began supporting it. We made the media sponsors. He said, if you give money, it is not adequate. We want your name. You must have seen that whether it is Larsen Toubro, whether it is TVS, or Murugappa, or SR, you can find all the leading corporates of India as corporate sponsors of the fair. This has happened in 8 fairs in Chennai. We want the corporate name to be associated with the word Hindu. That makes it modern. That makes it contemporary. That makes it unobjectionable. Then school students, we contacted the schools and made them visit the fair. And 200, 300 schools sent their children to the fair, and the children and the schools, the management, the teachers, we focused on private schools. They were all surprised at the kind of work that's happening, because the central hall figures kept on improving fair after fair, because more and more organizations began joining. And now the total number we have is non-formal and formal educational institutions being run by about 100 Hindu spiritual organizations is over 1,50,000. No one knew this. So educational institutions got attracted to it. Then we made one more improvement, one more innovation. Many caste organizations are running many schools, colleges. Caste is regarded as politics. He said, you are not politics. You will not be doing this unless you have some spiritualism inside. Every caste has a mutt, every caste has a religious leader, every caste has a deity, every caste is a religion. So we made some 20 castes participate. Whatever schools, colleges, there. For example, Nadar community is running over 500 schools and colleges. And when we asked them to participate in the fair, they were surprised that they are being called to participate in the Hindu fair. 20 castes which would be otherwise abusing each other and hitting each other in politics. They were all in the same row. Media went and asked them, why are you in this fair? He said, we are in this fair, we are the Ramakrishna mission, we are Chinmaya mission, we are Mata Amritanandamayi, Sri Ravi Shankar. We are in a respectable company. This is what they told the media. TV, print media carried all this. This force multiplied the Hindu civilization. Then we went to governments. For example, Rajalakshmi approached the Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam. They are earning huge amount of charity. I said, this is whose charity? Hindu charity. So she convinced them to participate in the fair. And when Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanam participated in the fair, it acquired a higher status. Then Thiruvananthapuram Devaswam Board participated. Then the Endowment Board in Tamil Nadu participated. Then the Endowment Board in Karnataka participated. Because one participates, the other participates. This is what is called force multiplication. We made the educational institutions accept the fair. The basis was spiritual institutions. Then communities. Then government. Then we approached the media. First time, at least some dozen media, the Indian Express, the largest circulating Tamil daily, number 2 daily, number 3 daily, all of them began participating as media partners of Hindu spiritual and service fair. This shook the media actually. Everything was based on the concept of service, and then we expanded it to these 6 things. What is Hinduism after all? Hinduism is a large canvas. It is a 360 degrees worldview. I was in Japan, January last, not this January, earlier January. I had gone for a Hindu-Buddhist convention. There a question was put to me in a round table. ASEAN nations, and they were our participants. They asked a very interesting question. India is such a diverse country. Myriads of people, languages, customs, habits. How are you functioning as a democracy? I said, I am surprised by this question. Because only diversity needs democracy. If it is a wholly communist Christian society, what is democracy in it? Whether A should be president or B should be president. We have a clash of ideas. We don't have a clash of people. So we must understand democracy is natural premium. Because we live with everybody. We have to live with the most disagreeable person. We have learned it for thousands of years. And that is why democracy is there in India. Then I said one more thing. We comprehend the world quite differently. I gave 2 examples to them. Rama is great because he obeyed his father. Prahlada is great because he defied his father. Sita is great because she obeyed her husband. Meera is great because he defied her husband. See, we can understand this. After this was over, that moderator said this answer will be remembered for a very long time in Tokyo. We don't know about our capacity to live and live with people with whom nobody can live. This civilization has been branded as narrow because we English-speaking Indians have let down India. They have betrayed India. They are responsible for not fighting this. So we decided we should take it up as a challenge. It's a doable challenge. We wanted lateral intervention. You can't do anything about the education system. You can't do anything about the government, which is frozen. The IAS officer mindset is frozen for 100 years. It is not going to melt. So we decided we should have lateral intervention. That is how we conceived the idea of force multiplying. Today, 8 fairs have happened in a place where anti-Hinduism prevailed for 60 years, where northerners were hated, Hindi was hated, Hinduism was hated. We conducted fair 8 times. Not one word was written against it in the media, and all the media cooperated, and every television channel which works with us has to show 3 hours of the fair. whether it is ZTV, whether it is Parliament TV, whether it is Tanti TV, whether it is Makkal TV, you know, the Makkal TV belonging to the PMK party, which otherwise would talk against Hinduism, became a media partner because we focused on service, we focused on conservation of forest, ecology, environment. Nobody could say no to this, whether it is educational institutions, government, community, media. We expounded a concept which is not only not objectionable, it became acceptable also. This is the most important strategic part of the presentation of Hindu civilization, which the Hindu Spiritual and Service Fair has been able to do in a place which is completely unfriendly to it. Then we had a discussion with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh in the year 2012. I made a presentation to them when they all met in Chennai. That this is a platform which can make the word Hindu normal word, a respectable word, acceptable word, unobjectionable word, something which will make us feel proud. You know the environmental resources of Hindu civilization, because none of us have studied any of these things, nor we were made to study. Our educational institutions have been kept in dark. I'll give you a small example. The first, you take conserve forests, protect wildlife. You know, in the last 300 years, we have destroyed 30% of the rainforests in the world. Greatest destruction has taken place in Africa. People have gone into it. United Nations has studied it. Science magazine 1967 has said it is Christianity which is responsible for environmental destruction in the world, because it regarded world as a consumption item and there is no sacredness attached to nature, water, tree, animals. They are all for human consumption, which has created a different consumption model there. Now that is becoming the biggest environmental problem. You know, one of the ideas that was discussed in the Paris climate summit was one meat-free day for the world. You know why meat-free day for the world? To produce 1 kilo of meat takes 48 times more water than producing 1 kilo of cereal. And America consumes 120 kilos of meat per head per year. It's almost 280 kilos in South Africa. It's more than 140 in most of the European countries. You know, with this large Muslim, Christian, non-vegetarian population, India's average meat consumption is just 5 kilos per person per year. It is the same in Bangladesh, which is almost a fully Islamist country. Because civilization habits do not change, religion may change. If 41% of the vegetarian Indians turn non-vegetarians, there will be no environment in India, it will all be over. These are all the things we brought out in our research. Forests and wildlife, protect wildlife. I will give you a small example. In Mahabharata, in Virata Parva, there is a sloka. It says that tigers protect forests, and forests only can keep tigers surviving. Without forest, tiger cannot survive. Without tiger, the forest cannot be protected. So tiger is needed for forest is needed for tiger. We read Mahabharata, we read this also, but we don't apply it in practice. My own house, in which I live in Chennai, because I come from the village, in 60% of the, 2/3 of the flat area, in that there was a neem tree. We had to demolish the house and build a new house. Ours was a joint family of 25 people. We needed every square foot of that construction. So the architect said, unless you remove this tree, we will lose 1100 square feet. We could not have the heart to cut the neem tree. The Rajalakshmi's family constructed that building for us. We said you have to save the tree, however much loss is there for the space, it is okay. Even today, that tree is like our God. If we had cut the tree, we could never have lived in peace in that house. This is our relationship. We have destroyed all these values. Our Dharma Shastras say, here women are sitting, our Dharma Shastras say, if a tree is being cut, a woman must protest because it is part of her. A woman must protest if a tree is cut. It is her duty. Where is all these values gone? Do you mean the value education is something which is to be memorized and repeated? It is a samskara to be imbibed. So we transformed the whole value education concept in terms of reverence through symbolism. We did a research on symbols. How much impact symbols make on human psychology. European Union was formed in the year 1991. What was the technique they adopted? Not huge literature. They adopted symbolism to bring down the 20 nations. It is a symbol. So we used to symbols. If you want to protect the forest, the tree is the symbol. You have to revere the tree. You have to relate to the tree. You have to see the forest in the tree. You have to see the wildlife in the snake. You have to see environment in earth, in water, in tulsi. You have to see ecology in elephant and cow. You have to see human values in parents and teachers and elders. The honor of women you should see in the girl child. When we took all this to the schools were surprised, even though Tamil Nadu is a family traditional place. We asked them to do the Acharya Vandana and Kanya Vandana. The school said, how can we do it? He said, no, you can do it this way. We made posters like this, Acharya Vandana. We made posters about the researches which were done in America. In America, Asian population is 4%. But our admission rate in Harvard, Stanford and Carnegie Mellon is 25 to 30%. So how can 4% population grab 25 to 30% seats in Harvard and Stanford? A research was done in America and they found the Indians perform well, Asians perform well because they revere the parents at home and respect the teacher in the class. We put all this in the school, so you are respecting the teacher or the parents or the elder. Is not just a good habit, it is a ladder for growth. This is how we make the students understand. And then we ask the student, we are going to celebrate the teacher, are you willing to participate? We motivate them to participate voluntarily. Nobody is compelled, nobody should be compelled. Samskaras and compulsion do not go together. So when this picked up, when Kanyavandan was done in some schools, many teachers began crying. That is the impact of samskara. The most powerful school in Chennai, where nearly 2,500 students of the richest families in Chennai study. 3 years we coaxed the director of the school to conduct the Acharya Vandana. 285 students raised their hand. And when Acharya Vandana took place, the teachers did not believe. They began crying. The student who was abusing them, criticizing them, belittling them is touching the feet, washing the feet. The entire school joined in the next 1 week. And it became a published news item in the Hindu newspaper. This is what samskaras do. In fact, I advise the schools, even the Republic Day and Independence Day, you don't ask all the students to come. You make an announcement. If you love your country, you come for the Independence Day tomorrow. Let him first decide he is loving the country and then come. If you ask him to come as a group, he doesn't know about the country, he doesn't know about the freedom, he only knows he has a duty to come. It is a compulsion to come. Don't compel anyone. This has become a craze. We have reached about 1,000 schools with this information. About 300 schools are performing, 120 schools are performing it regularly. And as it was mentioned in the introduction of Rajalakshmi, we have trained about 1,200 teachers who can perform this, who can talk about it. These are all the values which are dying. Why should we worship the parents, revere the parents? You look at America, what's happening in America? In America, nobody respects the parents, nobody takes care of the parents do not take care of the children. If a child is in a house after 16 years, the child loses all respect. After 16 years also, you are staying with the parents. 55% of the first marriages end in divorce. 67% of the second marriages end in divorce. 74% of the third marriages end in divorce. 51% of the families are single parent families where the father and the mother do not live together or there is no father at all. An American sociologist wrote a book in the year 1998, we are producing a fatherless society. Nobody to take care of the father, nobody to take care of the infirm people, unemployed people. The result, all these burdens have shifted onto the government. So the social security and health security schemes are the ones which are taking care of unemployed people, infirm people, aged people. You know what is the cost? The future social and health security burden, if it is discounted to the present day value, America needs $104 trillion. It does not have even $1 in its pocket. So I had discussions with many economists about it. If all earning Indians decide to disown their responsibilities towards their parents, some 60-70 crore people will be waiting before Narendra Modi's home for 2 square meals a day. There will be no India. So the entire burden, social security and health security burden is privatized in India, not by any law, not by any government, but by our culture, our spirituality, our value systems. We are destroying all this. Modernity is destroying all this. How many people know modernity is not dress? It is not just language. It is pure sexual freedom. It's a mighty war. So don't think we are conducting an exhibition. Anybody can conduct an exhibition. Exhibitions have no meaning. We are force multiplying the Hindu civilization. We are bringing together people who will never come together otherwise. We are bringing them together on a noble platform. We are bringing together on an agenda which is not only current, it is not only future, it is global. And I tell you the small work which was done in Chennai, how it has reached Paris. I presented all these facts to the Prime Minister of India. I told him he must take it up in the Paris Convention. He wrote a book containing all this. And that book was released in Paris and given to all the countries. Nearly 10,000 copies were printed and given to all the heads of state. And it was released by the French President and Indian Prime Minister. One more thing happened. You must have known about the Grammy Music Award, which is regarded as the Nobel Prize for Music. It was won by one Ricky Cage from Bangalore. He went to meet the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister told him, you go to Chennai. You try to do one CD, music CD, on these 3 environmental themes. From the Vedas, from the Upanishads, from the Guru Granth Sahib, from the Jain literature, from the Buddhist literature. He compiled a 13-minute CD in which 300 world-famous musicians participated. And this was the inaugural CD which was listened to by all the 182 nations' heads in Paris. And it was distributed to all the nations free. So we have been able to globalize a very powerful philosophic input at the global level. This is what is known as lateral intervention. This cannot happen through your universities, your schools, or colleges, your media. Your intellectuals, they will not even understand this. They will say worshipping a tree is pagan. It is backward. It's superstitious. How else you protect the tree? You know what happened in Rajasthan in 1732? The Maharaja of Jodhpur sent an army to cut the trees, Kejiri trees, for refurbishing his palace. 1732. Very recent history, recorded history. You know, the Bishnoi community is committed to protecting the tree. So when the Raja sent these people, the ladies there, the lady and her 2 children, others were not there. She said, you cannot cut the tree. No, we are going to cut it. You cut me first and then cut the tree. They cut her and cut her 2 children. And then the whole village came. 363 people were cut. Have we ever heard in any civilization, any thought, in any philosophy, in any history, 363 people from a village dying to ensure trees are not cut? You don't even know about it. That such a community exists also, people do not know. It exists even today. This is our ignorance about India. So we are doing a lateral intervention to bring all this. It's not that we are introducing the subject anew. It has taken place in 11 centers already all over India, and actually Ahmedabad is late. This is fully funded by the corporates. We don't beg. Many corporates come and offer on their own. L&T executive director came in the 4th fair and said, why our name is not there? I said, you have not given money, so your name is not there. We display the names of all the corporates which join as corporate sponsor, government sponsor, media partners, education sponsor, food sponsors. We have made food chains to supply food. Nearly 10,000, 15,000 students participate in the competitions. They have all to be given food. 3,000 volunteers run the fair. They have to be given food. Nearly 500 policemen guard the fair. They have to be given food. We don't spend anything. It is the society's work. We co-opt them. It is they have to do it. You go and explain. People are willing to do it in a place like Chennai, where our influence is far, far limited as compared to what you are. So we are presenting a functioning model to you. So my request is that this is not an exhibition. It is not a show. There is a huge philosophy behind it, samskara behind it. It can it can paradigm shift our youth, our governments, our society, educational institutions, and the media also. So we have a working model. I request all of you to participate in this. And in 11 places where we have conducted the fair, we have not collected money by taking hundis. We have always presented the concept of the fair, and the business people in those places have supported the fair. In fact, in a place like Gurgaon, Maruti Limited put up posters welcoming the Hindu spiritual fair, because there is nothing objectionable about it. It is service, it is environment, it is ecology. We have presented a model which is unobjectionable, totally acceptable, consistent with our constitution. No dispute with secularism, no dispute with modernity, because this is modernity. Modernity is not language or dress. Environment is modernity. Ecology is modernity. So this is a workable model. I request all of you. You must do your best to see that the Ahmedabad fair succeeds. And I'm sure you have a very good team here working for that. And I'm extremely happy that I had an occasion to present this concept. It's a much bigger concept than what I have been able to present to you. As you read, we have produced 6 volumes of literature on each one of these things. And it has been done with considerable research into science, into sociology, into spirituality, into religion, all these, each about 100 pages. We spent nearly 6 to 8 months of research. and then produce these volumes. These volumes are being translated. It has been already translated to Hindi and it is being done in Gujarati. The summary form is already translated and available to you. And I would request all of you, whenever you find time, because these are all very important pressing subjects which can kill the humanity unless we attend to it. And we can present a model to the world. We need to change the lifestyle of the people if we have to safeguard this world. That lifestyle change has to come only from a philosophy. And that philosophy inheres in us. It is in practice. It's in a working form. It's not just in books or libraries. It's in a functioning form in our life. As I said, 41% of the Indians are vegetarian. You cannot create vegetarian in theory and books and classrooms. It's a practice. Vegetarianism spreading in the world is necessary for saving the world. Even they recognize it. As I said, they wanted one meat-free day. It requires samskara. It requires a functioning model. It requires a victor. India, which is a world power, is practicing vegetarianism, is the way to introduce vegetarianism in the world. So we are moving to that position, and I'm sure in the next 15, 20 years, when I will be there or not, I don't know. Many of you is bound to be there. And you will see the India of that time, when it will be followed, and it will be sought after. People will come and study how people are vegetarians here, how people relate to nature, how people relate to animals. They will come and study. And Harvard and Stanford and Oxford universities will send the people to study the sociology, spirituality, family system of India, as to how these values have been kept alive in spite of the huge assault on them by modernity, by secularism, by the government, by law. You must have known about the domestic violence law. You know, domestic violence law is when husband and wife get into quarrel. You don't go to any elder, you go to the local police station. Can you believe? Husband and wife problem can be solved with a corrupt police. And this has been welcomed as a modern legislation. How foolish we are. In those societies there is no elder, and so they have to go to the police. Here we have elders, we have social elders, we have religious people, we have relatives. Here also the same law, because this law is there in America. Can you believe this kind of mad Xerox copying of our mind? It requires very powerful awakening. We want to bring all this into diverse sections of our society, including the intellectuals, media, academics, by this lateral intervention. I want your support in all this. Thank you very much.